Alright everybody, I am down in Watertown, South Dakota for the weekend for a family event, and I just left this National Pawn Co. You can see over there. I'm going to do a little game hunting while I'm in town. First pawn shop I hit here, they had a lot of games and they actually had a pretty cool little store, but the prices were what you'd expect based off eBay, I'm guessing. I did find a copy of Donkey Kong Country 3. They had it marked at only $18, which isn't an awful price, but they had no way to test it, and I just didn't want to drop that money on it without being able to verify it. So yeah, first stop of the day, National Pawn Co. I'm going to head on down the road. They said there's another couple pawn shops in the area and see what I can find. Okay, so I actually found a premiere video that I'm going to check out. This is a video rental chain in the upper Midwest here that has actually managed to hang on so far and hasn't got out of business, but a lot of times they sell old games because they do rentals, even cartridge stuff I find sometimes. So I'm going to go in there and see what they've got. Maybe I'll get lucky. Alright, so that premiere video is actually a little bizarre. They actually were selling games, but they were selling like Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 games, yet I went into their rental section, and I swear to God, they still had Game Boy games, N64, PlayStation 2, original Xbox games, GameCube, still for rentals, which is insane. The ones in closer to my area, I guess they've sold all those off, or they are selling them off. Why they're still renting them here, I don't know. I have no idea. I can't imagine they make any money on that, but whatever. Alright, so I just left this 212 pawn in Watertown here, and they didn't have a huge selection of games. Retro, I found like one NES game that I didn't already own, but she gave me like half price on that. And then I bought a few GameCube games. They didn't have anything great, but some ones that were decent that I didn't have. I didn't even ask her to cut the price on those. She gave them to me for $2 a piece. So I ended up with a few games out of the deal for like $13. Not bad. I'm going to keep looking around here. She said there's a couple other pawn shops in the area. No retro game stores that she's aware of, but I'll drive up and down and see what I can find. Alright, so I just went down the strip a little further in Watertown, South Dakota here, and they have a Goodwill, so I'm going to go in and see if I find anything. Well, hopefully, I'm not holding high hopes for Goodwill, but we'll see. Okay, so that was a tiny Goodwill, and they had next to nothing in the case, really no electronics, unless you were really into lamps. And there was a media case, but of course there was like 2 sports games for the PS2 in there, and that was literally it, a bunch of VHS. I'm kind of running out on time here. I'm in town for a family birthday, so I am going to try and hit a couple more spots and see if I can come up with anything else here. Alright, so I just got on my last stop, this Lester's Golden Pawn. I don't know if you can see that back there. Kind of just looked like some guy's house, pretty much. It is a pawn shop set up in, pretty dusty. Lot of guns and stuff, but he did have a pretty big game shelf with games for about every system you can imagine. It's just that literally every one of them was sports, and 10 times higher than it should be marked. So nothing there. That completes my little Watertown game hunting adventure, but I will show you what I picked up here in just a minute. Okay, so it wasn't exactly the best game hunting, but I don't ever really get down to Watertown or travel to South Dakota that much at all. And for a town that size, I think it's about 20,000 people, give or take. They had a surprising number of pawn shops, and that Goodwill surprised me. Usually I don't see them in towns that small. So, you know, in total I was probably driving around for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. I was able to find those 4 or 5 shops. So it wasn't too bad, and I was happy to find a few games at a decent price. So what I ended up getting from the 212 pawn, I believe it was 4 games, paid $12. First up, I got Tiny Toon Adventures on the NES. I don't come across this one that often. They had it priced at $15. She let it go for $7. And I already had the second one, so I wanted to get this one to complete the set for the NES. I ended up getting 3 GameCube games out of this deal as well. And these are all complete. First up is Extreme G Racing 3, I believe. Yeah, 3. Have not played any in that series before. Next up is Sonic Riders, which I've had a chance to play a little bit of it since I picked it up. And to be honest, maybe I'm just not understanding how to play it, but so far it has not been a very good game. And then the last one is Soul Calibur 2, which I'm not a huge fighting franchise type of person, but I really do like the Soul Calibur games. I think they're easy to get into for just about anyone. And this one, as a GameCube exclusive character, does have Link, which is awesome. So I will give that a shot at some point. I haven't gotten to play it yet. But yeah, that's all for my little road trip. Even though I didn't get a lot, it's always nice to get out on the road and check out games somewhere else. You never know, especially in those smaller towns, you never know what you might find. So until next time, guys, take it easy. Thanks for watching.